What is up, guys? Well, this is just gonna be a little intro. My swap's completed. I just completed it today. Started on Sunday. Today's Thursday. I didn't really document a lot because, one, shout out to VT Bobby on YouTube. I use a lot of his videos to look at a bunch of stuff. But like I said, I wasn't able to document a lot of the videos because I was just trying to get this thing going. Right now, you can see everything's in place. Well, I still need to do the intercooler piping and then an exhaust, yada yada yada, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, wires are still all dangling here and there. That is just because I just finished the wiring tonight and I had to test it out. So that's pretty much what it is. But in the series of clips coming up, I'm gonna throw in a bunch of stuff. I think I'm gonna start with when I started putting back all this stuff together because I had to paint this and do a bunch of cleanups around. So I think I'm gonna start a little bit of putting everything back together, even though I think it was partially almost done already at that point. And then I'll go ahead with the whole driving my last drive under my GE engine into the garage, jacking up the car and all that stuff. So here's a video. Stay tuned. Alright, so guys, sorry about that. So I'm done putting everything back together on this side. Now, all I'm just gonna do is pretty much get ready for the swap. I just gotta figure out the stupid wiring, and that's it. But everything's put back together on this side. I don't think I missed any connection. I kind of bought a J-pipe delete, but I'm still not positive it's going to work for the IS300 because on the IS300s our ABS pump is literally right here. So I don't know what angle it's going to come out from, if it's going to bother me or anything like that. Hopefully not, but if it doesn't, then we should be good to go. And that's pretty much it. Everything's back together. Just need my exhaust, all that stuff, and get this bad boy fired up. Alright, I haven't really, what's up guys? I haven't really recorded because I've been working solo for the most part. Headers, all the connections on this part, Altezza sensors are disconnected. For the most part, all I have left to disconnect is the motor mounts bolts, and I have to disconnect the drive shaft. Since I have an AR5 transmission, you can't really see, but it uses Allen keys for that. And my Allen keys that I have, none of them work for some reason. It looks like it's a 9, which, I mean, that's kind of a weird, odd size. But then given the fact that this is not an OEM product, I'm not surprised. So I just gotta go to Harbor Freight real quick, see if I can pick up just a regular Allen key. Give it a shot, hopefully it works. Take the drive shaft off, take the motor mount bolts off, and my buddy should be coming in soon to help me out, and then we can start the whole process of pulling the whole motor and training out together. Stay tuned. Hey, what's up guys? I'm gonna show my face first. Hey, how's it going? So here's where we are right now. I know I did not record a lot of parts in the process we did, but honestly, when you try to do this part like this, you probably don't have the time to think about recording at the same time. But we were able to get the motor in. We had to use some different techniques just to be able to get it in smoothly. I even actually ended up breaking a piece of my valve cover back here because we had to tilt the motor this way, and when we tilted it, the ABS block right here was in the way. So see, right now it's still loose. I'm gonna tighten it up later. I basically got to take the 2 bolts holding it, that and the one on the side, and one of my buddies, Justin, came because originally it was just 2 of us. One of my buddies came and he was able to like raise the ABS pump out of the way while we try to slide it in. But we were able to get it in. Motor mounts sat on the subframe. They were not in the holes, but what I did was just get a pry bar or something and just hammer because the motor mounts are flexible. So when I got everything done, dropped it in, and we called it a day. We had a little issue. So my transmission that I have is an AR5, which is basically an updated version of an R154. Well, I wasn't too happy when I found out that the pilot bearing are actually different between both transmissions, because I had bought a new pilot bearing. And where is it at? So the inner diameter of this is smaller than the one on the AR5. I was literally putting it in, and then I found out, like, hold up, let me see if this is actually gonna fit. So I took this off, tried to slide it in the tranny, and it would not go on at all. So I did the bread trick. Basically, on the old one that was already on the motor, I stuffed in bread a lot. I used the outer layer of the bread since it was a little harder than the inside, because the inside was not working. But the outside layer, I kept stuffing it with more and more and more and more and more bread, and got a bolt that could fit through. Put the bolt on there, hammered, put more bread, hammered again, put more bread, hammered, and it just kept backing out with the pressure. And that's how I was able to get it out. And before I even jumped on that part, I had a big problem trying to separate the trainer from the original motor right here. Like, it was such a pain in the butt. But we had to use a couple of techniques. This came in handy because part of the transmission was there to separate it, but it just would not separate from the motor itself. So we stuffed this on one corner that I was already pried out. I got my cheater bar, or technically the other extension part of my jack. I can't find it around here to show y'all, but the other part of my jack, I stuffed it on the other side, then got my pry bar from the bottom, kept prying, That's how I was able to separate the transmission from the old motor. And we got everything done. I put the flywheel back on. I have ARP flywheel bolts, and that is 75 foot-pounds you have to torque it to. And then the pressure plate, we torqued that to 15 foot-pounds. Honestly, I did not use a torque wrench on that because it's such a low foot-pounds that I'm scared I could break something, especially on a 15 foot-pound. So I just hand tighten it until you kind of feel like it's tight enough and you just stop. That's it. And obviously I used Loctite on that, both of them. Pretty much got everything in right now. I've already got the water hose on the bottom side in. I still have the upper one to connect. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do to it, because this technically is long enough. Not really, but it's barely catching on. But if I do that, it's gonna be literally sitting on my valve cover like that. So if I ever want to take this out, I'm gonna have a hard time, and most likely will have to disconnect the line just to be able to do that. So I think what I'm gonna do is just join this hose that I bought from Advance and to the other one, because to try and get that hose out, it's impossible. And so that's pretty much it. Today, right now, what I'm gonna try and do is I tried to do it yesterday, but I could not really do it. I'm gonna try and connect the turn line, a few miscellaneous parts. Oh yeah, before I forget, I still have to connect the slave. I have to bolt the motor mount bolts, because literally right now it's just sitting on top. It's not bolted or nothing like that. I'm gonna connect all that part, and then I have to adjust my bolts on my rear differential too. I have to bolt that up, and then pretty much any other parts that I need to do on the bottom part, I'm gonna do all that today. That's it.
All right, first startup.
Yeah, just priming up.
Okay, just priming up. Sorry guys.
Okay, I just realized we haven't put the shifter in. I'm not sure if the car's in neutral or not.
Is it gonna jump? It's not on the ground.
I know it's not gonna jump. Stop it. That's better enough. It's because of my palm mirrors. I pushed them in manually.
Okay, I was about to do it manually.
No fucking way.
We took the fuel.
There was some gas on there. You took what off?
The fuel pump, right?
Yeah, I took it off. But somehow this shit still try to start.
It was awesome.
All right, take 4. Just oil residue on the top of the thermal side. I was checking the thermal out. Everything on OBD port works. Okay, so starts. All right, fuel pump relay put in place. I'm not sure why it started without fuel pump relay.
Me either. I'm like, what? we're gonna check out the turbo noises, the whistles, boy. Yeah.
And before I forget, shout out to JK_IS300 on Reddit. He was a big help. Like, the wiring video he gave me was spot on. If you had an old one, I would try my best to either get his video out or show you exactly what I did on mine. But I can't really document it right now, but I'll try to show you guys a video later on in a different episode video. If you have an old one, it's easy wiring. It's not too hard. Like, I mean, a bunch of videos on YouTube, they're for 02 and up, which is not too bad. But if you have an old one, this is an easy wiring. Honestly, I'm not a great person when it comes to wiring, but if you give me instructions, I can follow it. So I was able to get that done. But shout out to him. I forgot what his screen name is on Instagram, but I followed him on there, and that's how he was able to send me the video. But shout out to JK_IS300 on Reddit. He has a yellow IS300 with a 1J also.